Tonight on News 5 Live, woman dies after fall from moving car. Machete fight over turtle shell. The curfew might end March 1st, and the Prime Minister looks forward to welcoming CARICOM and SICA heads of government. These stories and more up next on News 5 Live.
In these trying times, Smart is here to lessen the burden. Smart's reduced roaming rates save you while traveling. Calls back home are a low 35 cents per minute when visiting Canada, the US, and Mexico, or pay as low as 50 cents per calls when visiting countries in the Caribbean, Central, and South America. For the month of February and March, enjoy an unbelievable low rate of 30 cents per megabyte when roaming with mobile data in Canada, the US, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. Whether you are a business traveler, studying abroad, visiting loved ones, or just traveling for pleasure, Smart's new roaming rates have got you covered. Roaming in China, Europe, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean is as low as the cost of making a local call. It's that low. Smart's roaming coverage continues to grow, so you can also enjoy affordable roaming rates in several destinations across the globe. For more information on rates to other countries, visit our website or call 1090 for more details before you travel. Smart, bringing people together.
The official migration from Belize Bank Corporation Limited to Belize Bank Limited will take place over the weekend of February 25th to 28th, 2022. This means that as of 3 p.m. on Friday, February 25th through to Monday, February 28th, Belize Bank Corporation Limited customers will not be able to access any online banking, debit card, and in-branch services. The BBCL ATM network services will also be unavailable starting the morning of February 25th, 2022. We apologize for this inconvenience and encourage customers to prepare in advance by topping up their eCash wallet or ensuring they have the cash they will need. As of March 1st, your new Belize Bank Limited account number becomes effective, and you will be able to access all the great services of Belize Bank. You will be able to use your new contactless debit card at merchants countrywide, have access to a wider network of ATMs, and be able to log in and access all the great online features. Your old account number will no longer work, so you will need to provide your new Belize Bank Limited account number to all the persons and firms you do business with, including your employer. Please note that the new account numbers have already been provided for all Government of Belize employees. We welcome you to our Belize Bank family, where you will enjoy lower fees and excellent customer service.
Are you looking for the right product to keep your family and your home safe? Then Spark Alcohol is exactly what you've been looking for. It prevents the spread of many diseases. It's also fast-drying, safe, and conveniently packaged in a spray bottle. Protect your family and your home with Spark Alcohol. Exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited.
Las tradiciones son atemporales, pero mantenerse al día es necesario. DigiWallet me permitirá hacer todas mis compras favoritas. Es fácil y seguro. Solo es agregar dinero a mi DigiWallet y ya puedo irme de compras en mis tiendas locales favoritas. Oye tú, a mi familia le encanta. A mí también. Es nuestra nueva tradición. DigiWallet, próximamente.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, February 21st. I am Sabrina Daly. In a follow-up to a story we brought you last week, 25-year-old Lajeen Ramdas has died. He was shot in downtown Belize City mid-morning on Friday. Coincidentally, his father came to the scene to assist, not knowing it was his own son who had been hit. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
23-year-old Lajeen Ramdas was gunned down on Albert Street in Belize City on Friday morning. He would later succumb to the injuries he sustained. Police believes Ramdas's murder was as a result of gang-related violence in the area.
Actually, all indications are that it might have been gang-related.
But Ramdas's sister, who would not give her name, is in disbelief. She told News 5 over the phone that she did not know her brother to be a gang member.
As far as I know, my brother, as far as I know, he's not in any gang. Right? So I would really appreciate it that you guys don't put that he's affiliated with any gang.
Ramdas was at a car wash on Albert Street in downtown Belize City when his attackers, two male persons, approached him and fired several shots at him. He attempted to make an escape but collapsed only a short distance away. Several hours later, he died at the KHMH from the injuries he sustained.
We have several persons detained, persons of interest, and we believe that hopefully we could make an arrest very soon in this murder. No?
But do you know if he was the intended target, considering that there were other people at the car wash as well?
Well, he received the barrage of the shots, so I don't see who else could have been the intended target.
The family is still trying to understand, like, why. Right? We are thinking that maybe someone called him and they set him up, but to say it was a gang thing, no. Lajeen was always a humble, mannerly person, very mannerly. He walks in the house, he's going to bid you the time of the day.
His father was one of the first to arrive on the scene that morning. Overtaken by the trauma caused by having to pick his wounded son off the pavement, he gave only brief comments over the phone.
I'm like my son, and you shot, and I meet him come. You know, I'm in love with my son, otherwise, you know.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
According to police, earlier this year, Ramdas was charged with a firearm offense. He was remanded to the Belize Central Prison and later met bail, but police do not believe his murder was connected with that incident. A 70-year-old Honduran man is dead following the theft of weed whackers at his place of employment. Police say Transito Villabolos was on duty as a watchman at a farm in Bladen Village when there was a break-in. The thieves apparently took the watchman's life. Here are the details from the police.
Police visited farm number 11, somewhere around Bladen Village in the Toledo district, where they saw the lifeless body of Transito Villalobos, a 73-year-old Honduran watchman of that said farm. No? Initial investigations revealed that Mr. Villalobos reported for duty on Saturday and was to come off duty on Sunday morning. When other persons visited the farm, They found him dead, and the house, a shed on the farm, was burglarized, and missing were two weed whackers. We know that investigators have been canvassing that area to at least try to find a lead of maybe who has the weed whacker, so, and we're trying to work on this as quickly as possible now. We even asked the assistance of the public, where we believe that in that isolated area, we should be able to gather some information.
A Belize City man drowned while swimming at a sandpit in the Fresh Pond community over the weekend. 21-year-old Jali Mitchell and his brother had gone for a Saturday afternoon swim, and it was when Mitchell was in the deeper portion that he began struggling to stay afloat. A resident in the area jumped in to assist, but it was too late. We spoke to Mitchell's sister, Brittany Jenkins, who told us that it was her brother's first visit to the area.
He was very adventurous, so he had ways of showing that he liked to do certain things. And for one, he liked explore. He loved to explore. And he was so excited that day to went swimming. Because that was his first time visiting the place.
Was exploring, adventuring when that happened?
Yes, he was. And apparently that was his first time and his last time there. And it was so hard for me, and I really do got the news that happened. So far, I see, and I always go at the panto, so I know. And from the way how I see the video when I watch it, he make one step too many. And he was there in a split second and he was gone. But the way how I see it happened so sudden. They had some more people, they saw Spanish people there as well, and they put it up on the guy that rescued that ex-BDF, that one of my friend, and yeah, and I know the man good, and when he said he respond very quickly, and when they tell our part, my brother went down, he said he dived down there and he didn't find it, he had to swim out more in the deep.
Police say they are still investigating. Police are investigating an incident in southern Belize that left one woman dead. Iris Miranda was reportedly inside a Ford Escape with a male driver when she jumped out of the moving vehicle. She sustained several head and body injuries, which led to her death. Police have since detained the driver as they investigate.
Sometime around 5:03 p.m. on Sunday, police received information of a fatal traffic accident somewhere near the Maya Center Village and Canactic Junction. Officers responded to that area, but when they got there, they couldn't establish any scene. When Dangaga police informed the other officers that was looking for the scene, that a young lady, Iris Miranda, was transported to the Southern Regional Hospital with injuries to her head and body that would be consistent with RTA. No? Investigators went to the Southern Regional Hospital where they saw the lifeless body of Iris Miranda. We have since detained the driver of a Ford Escape, Maynard Dubon, 41 years, who was driving the vehicle that alleged that whilst traveling to that location, Miss Iris exited the vehicle while it was still in motion. We are investigating Miss Miranda's death and treating it as a death investigation, homicide, until we can prove otherwise.
Two Lemanal cousins got in a dispute over a turtle shell. and it turned violent. William Ball alleges that he caught Ryan Sutherland attempting to steal the shell from his yard. When he confronted Sutherland, a physical altercation with a machete reportedly ensued, leaving Sutherland injured.
We know that sometime around 6:40 p.m. on the 19th of February, a 35-year-old farmer stated that he went home and found Ryan Sutherland, his cousin, taking a turtle shell from his property without his permission. Mr. Bull also reported that he asked Mr. Sutherland to just leave his property, and this is when an argument ensued between him and Mr. Sutherland, where he was chopped. And he was treated and released from the Kahushna Memorial since, and Mr. Sutherland is detained pending charges.
The Belize Cogeneration Limited, Belcogen, has brought a claim against the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and 4 of its members. Belcogen is seeking relief for special damages to the tune of $500,000. They allege the association instructed and encouraged the other 4 defendants to trespass over BSI's land and unlawfully block access to cane farmers at the start of the crop. Belcogen asserts the blockade prevented the delivery of sugarcane and sale to BSI by the other associations. The blockade, they allege, prevented the production of sugar and bagasse, its byproduct used to generate energy. The claim was filed on Friday, and a press release today said it is to avoid further blockades. The release in part says, quote, "The company views the December blockade of the mill as illegal because it exceeded the principle of civil protests and was operationally and economically damaging to not only the mill, but also farmers that sought to honor their contracts and deliver cane to the mill," unquote. Viewers may recall in December 2021, GOB reportedly gave its commitment to the BSCFA that it would take responsibility for any potential lawsuits that drive from the blockade. Here is that phone interview with Andrew Westby, the chairman of the management committee at BSCFA from December.
That will be in the government will take handle of that. Will handle that. They assure the people, the farmers right now, that they will handle it, and there is a letter signed that we have a copy being brought to me, by the personal. We got the copy to me at the conference room at the BCFA office in front of the ministers and our directors. So if he present me that copy, they will take full responsibility if any legal thing was brought against the association and the farmers.
That's what the letter says.
Yeah.
After the break, we'll have a preview of the 2022 budget and the upcoming CARICOM SICA Summit at San Pedro. News 5 speaks with the Prime Minister when we return.
The ability of COVID-19 diagnostic tests to detect the Omicron variant is critical to tracking its spread and putting in place measures to halt transmission. The SD biosensor rapid antigen test authorized for use in Belize is able to detect COVID-19 variants, including the latest Omicron variant. To ensure that only genuine SD biosensor products are used at the point of contact, strict supply chain protocols such as express air delivery from the manufacturer and proper storage by authorized dealers are monitored and maintained. In Belize, SD biosensor rapid tests are administered by trained professionals and offered by established healthcare providers that abide by strict international standards and ensure that the customers are getting the latest top quality product. With all of us doing our part and using quality, reliable tools like the SD biosensor rapid antigen test, we will beat COVID-19.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digistore near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
I am proud to be a Belizean.
I've always enjoyed the different flavors of my country. Every nook and cranny has its own unique taste.
Our history, rich with culture. We've come so far since our independence. Our flag, rivers, mountains, our people, diverse and strong.
Looking back, I am proud and honored. We must continue to preserve and conserve our culture and country for the next generation.
This is our Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
What if the profits of your bank were shared equally with you instead of with unknown shareholders and large corporations? What if those profits remained in Belize to enrich the communities where we live? What if just having an account with your bank meant that you were now a part owner of that bank? What if your voice mattered and you had a say in how your bank is being run? What if your bank was always looking out for your best interests and its biggest goal was to see you succeed? That's what it means to be part of a credit union where all of our members are in this together. Communities work best when they work for each other. Cooperation strengthens us all. Discover the credit union difference and find out just how stronger we can be together.
Fires can be both good and bad, but if fires are uncontrolled and unmonitored, they can have severe impacts to the economy, to people's health, livelihood, and property.
Forests give us life, but uncontrolled forest fires are costly and dangerous. Each year, more than 97,000 acres of our forests are destroyed by fires, killing our wildlife and destroying their habitats, wiping out thousands of trees from our timber industry, damaging agricultural crops and our tourism businesses, greatly affecting the livelihood of many Belizeans.
Belize has a fire season that runs between February 15th and June 15th. Now, this is the time when we have an increased incidence of fires. We have an increased incidence of health concerns. We have an increased alert phase for the Forest Department and the Agriculture Department in as far as our response to fires. And this is the time when we're appealing to Belizeans to be wiser in our approach to using fires.
Forest fires can cost us our homes or even our lives, but many forest fires can be prevented.
Be fire-wise. Prevent, prepare, protect.
To learn more, call the Forest Department at 822-1524 or find us on Facebook.
I visited the land of Serbia, a great many miles away. I ascended the Mount Everest few people have conquered. I roared on the snow-covered Antarctic and Arctic. I rolled swiftly across the vast, untamed desert. Ling Long Tire conquers every corner of the world.
Distributed by Enrique Martinez and Sons Limited. 2 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City.
As the next fiscal year for GOB is quickly approaching, the presentation of the budget is already underway. For the last 2 years, a high percentage has been pumped into the COVID response for the country. While we were with PM John Bersenio this afternoon, News 5 asked what is the 2022-2023 budget looking like. The PM says there will be a focus on infrastructure development and education.
First thing I could tell is that we don't expect to increase any taxes, but we are certainly looking at the issue of infrastructure development, housing. We need to make monies. I mean, just in less than 1 year, we've built 80 low-cost houses, something that the previous government in 13 years did not do. We want to do more of that. We want to probably, hopefully, double that effort. And they look at issues of education, the expansion of NHI in the north. So there are going to be some exciting things. But we have not officially presented to cabinet, so I think that's as far as I can go.
Sir, I know that a lot of funding did go to health for obvious reasons. Are we going to see maybe some of the money pulled from there to go to other?
Well, it's not a matter of pulling monies from Ministry of Health. Remember, COVID is still here. We may be able to ease the restrictions, but we still have to be able to do some of the things. Hopefully, we don't have to do as much testing as we've been doing. So, if there's monies that we can save and try to divert, especially to education, certainly we will do so.
Currently holds the pro tem chairmanship of CARICOM, and next week, heads of state from member countries will converge in San Pedro for a summit. Chief among their discussions will be issues affecting the region, including the COVID-19 pandemic and regional trade. Prime Minister John Bersenio says that the final details are being ironed out.
CARICOM is coming here to discuss on several issues, on the issues of COVID, the issues of vaccines, especially for children, they look about trade, so many other matters, issues of poverty that has affected us because of COVID, climate change. These are issues that affects our daily lives. So we'll be here to have that discussion with the prime ministers of the region. But then that's going to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday, we're planning on having a joint session between SICA and CARICOM. Also, just as important, the Secretary General of the UN, Mr. Gutierrez, is going to be here in Belize for the first time in history. Are we having the Secretary General of the United Nations coming to Belize? He's excited to see on the work that we've been doing on the issues of conservation, issues of climate change and fighting poverty. And also he's excited to come and visit Belize.
The two-day meeting with CARICOM leaders will then transition into a CARICOM-SICA meeting. According to PM Bersenio, it has been almost a decade since a meeting has been held between both regional organizations. Belize, as a member to both, plays a crucial role as the bridge between Central America and the Caribbean. It is his hope that the San Pedro Declaration comes out of the meeting.
SICA and CARICOM have not met for the last 11 years. And we believe that there must be a closer and stronger relationship between CARICOM and the Central American countries through SICA. And if we can work together, we could have a bigger voice, a stronger voice in the international forum. So again, I have taken the opportunity to invite the presidents to come, or their vice presidents, to come on Thursday to come up with a joint declaration of what we are referring to as the San Pedro Declaration. So it's an exciting time for Belize. We need to take advantage of that role that we can play. Belize is historically a part of the Caribbean, but geographically we're a part of Central America. So we can play that connection. We can create the connection between SICA and CARICOM. But to do that, we also have to be more active in SICA. And unfortunately, for many years, the past government of Belize was not active in SICA. So now we want to be able to do that. So by doing that, we could create opportunities.
On Tuesday, Minister of Health and Wellness, Kevin Bernard, will be presenting a paper to Cabinet that asks to have the curfew removed and other restrictions eased. He confirmed to News 5 today that the official announcement will be made to the public on the changes later this week. But even if curfew goes, the mask mandate stays.
This week, I am taking that paper to Cabinet. That's so I am prepared thereafter at the end of this week to make my presentation to the media as to what we are going to do, what are the restrictions that we're going to lift, and those restrictions we're hoping that will take effect at the 1st of March. As we look at trends around the world, you'll see where other bigger countries are easing and some of them getting rid of restrictions completely. I don't personally think we are at that stage yet in Belize, where we're going to get rid of our masks and certain things. I think the mask mandate must remain for a while, and that is the recommendation coming from my medical response team and also from my personal medical advisors that I have. I do support the removal of the curfew completely. I do support that we need to open up for sports. We need to open up for some events with restrictions, of course, with certain limitations, but at the same time, our people need to go back to some level of normalcy in this country after 2+ years with COVID.
Prime Minister John Briceño says he will support the removal of curfew. He confirms that there won't be a cabinet meeting on Tuesday, but that a retreat will be held later this week when the proposal by Health Minister Kevin Bernard will be presented. PM Briceño says that he has been a proponent for its removal for some time now.
I think I was one of the first that said, way back when I was co-chair with former Prime Minister Barrow, that we have to learn to live with COVID. I realize that COVID is going to be here to stay. And so in Cabinet, we've been looking at the ways that is at the same time following the science as to how we can lift some of these restrictions. We've had them for too long. It was necessary, but there comes a time, COVID is going to be here, and fortunately, the Omicron variant is not as serious as the Delta, and so we believe that it is time to look at how we can open up, easing up restrictions, easing up on the curfew, and finding ways on how we can better work and operate in Belize, as what we call living with COVID.
PM Briceño says that reducing the cost of living will also be discussed at the meeting. After the break, a big expo in Spanish Lookout gets the go-ahead, but there are some restrictions. Find out what the Ministry of Health insists the community must do when we come back. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Energía del Ministerio de Servicios Públicos, Energía, Logística y E-Gobernanza realizarán una encuesta nacional sobre el uso de la energía del 2 de febrero al 20 de mayo de 2022. La encuesta abarcará todos los sectores económicos de Belice y la información recolectada será usada para apoyar políticas energéticas y ayudar a planificar un futuro sostenible para el sector energético de Belice. Si su hogar ha sido seleccionado, un encuestador visitará su casa con una identificación. Las empresas recibirán un cuestionario en línea para completar. En ambos casos, el ministerio solicita su amable colaboración. Esta encuesta está financiada por una subvención del Fondo Mundial para el Medio Ambiente, por medio del Banco Mundial como organismo ejecutor del proyecto, dentro del Proyecto de Resiliencia Energética para la Adaptación al Clima.
February is all about Honda. Get up to 22% off selected Honda products in February, such as motorcycles, outboards, lawnmowers, trimmers, water pumps, and generators. Show your vehicle some love with Castrol. Spend $100 or more on Castrol oils and get a coupon for a free oil change. We are also offering service packages. All you have to do is purchase a Honda product or equipment and get the first 3 services free. Remember, it's Love Your Honda in February. So visit Benquip, 3 miles on the Philip Golson Highway to enjoy these great deals. Benquip, equipment, parts, service.
The official migration from Belize Bank Corporation Limited to Belize Bank Limited will take place over the weekend of February 25th to 28th, 2022. This means that as of 3 p.m. on Friday, February 25th through to Monday, February 28th, Belize Bank Corporation Limited customers will not be able to access any online banking, debit card, and in-branch services. The BBCL ATM network services will also be unavailable starting the morning of February 25th, 2022. We apologize for this inconvenience and encourage customers to prepare in advance by topping up their eCash wallet or ensuring they have the cash they will need. As of March 1st, your new Belize Bank Limited account number becomes effective and you will be able to access all the great services of Belize Bank. You will be able to use your new contactless debit card at merchants countrywide, have access to a wider network of ATMs, and be able to log in and access all the great online features. Your old account number will no longer work, so you will need to provide your new Belize Bank Limited account number to all the persons and firms you do business with, including your employer. Please note that the new account numbers have already been provided for all Government of Belize employees. We welcome you to our Belize Bank family, where you will enjoy lower fees and excellent customer service.
Do people actually hear from God? Are there really angels and demons? Okay, now that's just unbelievable. In our next series, we're going beyond the Google search and facing the tough questions. It's time to take on the skeptic and eliminate the doubt. From inconceivable to unimaginable, we're talking about the Bible's most unbelievable truths. Every second of this series will be worth your while. Believe it or not.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
The Omicron variant continues to be the most predominant strain in Belize, and the daily positivity rate is down to around 7%. Active cases are now down to 2,300 and continues to decrease daily. This is great news for the healthcare system, says Minister of Health and Wellness, Kevin Bernard.
We are at the stage where we are seeing our numbers taking its deep dive down, and I had mentioned a few weeks ago, and I think even last week, that we have been looking as the COVID medical response team, we have been looking at the whole scenario, and we had said that once the numbers since the borders opened remain steady and low and continues to drop, and the positivity rate, the daily positivity rate remains between that 10 to 15%, then we ought to go to Cabinet and make the necessary recommendation to ease the many of the restrictions that we currently have.
In speaking about the relaxing of COVID restrictions, Minister Kevin Bernard also spoke about the Ministry of Health and Wellness now focusing on getting pediatric vaccines in country. As it currently stands, 49% of the population aged 12 and older are fully vaccinated. Among those unvaccinated are predominantly primary school children between 5 and 11.
Despite Belize having access to vaccines, despite we have availability for others who have not been vaccinated to go and get vaccinated, I think we have reached that stage and that time when all those who really want to have gotten vaccinated have already done so. It's just now for us to go back and educate. The house-to-house campaign that Dr. Beer and her team are doing is to go and say, you know what, for those who are unvaccinated, let's reach out to them. Let's see if we can get this number up. Let us focus on getting our 5 to 11-year-old pediatric vaccines in country, and then let's vaccinate that population. Once we can do that, then I believe we can start to really look at the other measures that will come thereafter.
Wear masks or no expo. That's the message being sent to the Mennonite community of Spanish Lookout, who will be hosting an expo from March 3rd to the 5th. Thousands of persons usually attend this event to take advantage of the great deals, but there is concern that area residents are not adhering to the mask mandates and concerns about safety. Today, Minister of Health Kevin Bernard also asked about the protocols in place for such an event. He says that a team headed by Dr. Francis Maury has done a reconnaissance and the ministry will give the go-ahead, but only if everyone wears masks, including the organizers.
I said to the people at Spanish Lookout when they initially wrote that we are not here to stop business, we are not here to stop any kind of activity that will help generate economic movement within our space. But at the end of the day, we must do it responsibly. And so the SI speaks of the number of people that are to be gathered. And if you need to request special permission, then you come to the Ministry of Health and you get that permission, but with certain conditions. So before I even responded to say, you know what, go out and let's have a full blast expo, initially we wanted to give the permission. We retracted that and said, you know what, we need to sit with our medical team and get an analysis of how it's going to be, look at the layout, look at what will be planned, put in the necessary restrictions. And so that is what our team had gone out. What I got over the weekend was that it is workable. It's something that they feel at the Ministry of Health, team that went out there, can be managed with enough police presence, of course, enforcement, proper spacing of where they will have their event. At the same time, again, I drive back this point. We must remember that it is the responsibility of those who organize, but at the same time, the responsibility of us who attend. And while you mentioned that the Mennonite community, I understand there's an issue there. But I think that the guideline we are telling them is that you must wear your mask. So if you fail to do so, then we cannot have then an expo. You as the organizer must follow the rules we are telling you to set, what we are setting out for this event to take place.
Today, the Cleopatra White Polyclinic in Belize City got a new designation as a smart healthcare facility. The changes are the result of a project supported by the UK government and PAHO. The $3 million invested was for improvements to infrastructure and equipment, and in building the capacity of those employed at these facilities. Following a brief ceremony this morning, there was a walkthrough of the facility.
Facilities have already been retrofitted. I know the Palm View was done earlier in late last year, and then last week we did the official ribbon cutting for the San Ignacio Community Hospital. Today we are at the Cleopatra White, and then we moved on thereafter to Independence Polyclinic and the other Isabella Palma Polyclinic. And moving these facilities into a smart and green facility makes much more significance. We need to ensure, one, there's cost-saving measures that any hospital that you run, any facility that you run is very costly when it comes to health. So being able to utilize solar, being able to ensure that they have their own water catchment and be able to have our facility upgraded to a standard that one, or people can feel that they're getting the best service ever. These funding come from through the support of the UK. Huge amount of money, millions of dollars invested in these 5 facilities, and one that needs to be put at good use. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. We cannot continue to have investment done in our health facilities and we forget the main purpose, the main issue that has to be done after, which is constant maintenance. We have to ensure that that is a part of, as you will say, the Bible in health.
The upgrade to 5 healthcare facilities in Belize brings into sharp focus the need for infrastructure improvements across the country. Minister of Health and Wellness Kevin Bernard says that he is going to seek funding to retrofit and upgrade the Southern Regional Hospital, the Northern Regional Hospital, as well as the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital.
Let's look right next door, KHMH, badly in need of some major upliftment. That's a major issue. Northern Regional Hospital. When I went to the San Ignacio Community Hospital last week, I was like, wow, why is it that the Southern region, which we are hearing having so many issues, Northern Regional Hospital, who desperately needs some major repairs as well. These are the things that I think we need to start to look at. Health is not just the service that is provided, but the infrastructure needs to be there. The adequate equipments need to be there. And the medication and supplies needs to be there in order for the doctors and the nurses and the patient care assistants that are working day in and day out to be able to provide a much more quality healthcare to our general population.
Just ahead, long lines at the PGIA, but are they caused by travel insurance purchases or just more arrivals? Marian Ali looks into it when we return. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Weather update is brought to you by SMART. This weather update was brought to you by SMART.
Through this process of the sidewalk and ramps construction, I will tell you that I was so excited because I envisioned how these sidewalks were going to be made and where were the exact needs of the sidewalks. Our students are coming back slowly. There have been 3 students in wheelchair. They have been coming to school and they have been accessing the ramps and the sidewalks, and the parents feel grateful and they are happier now that they don't have to be pushing the wheelchairs with much strength. I can say now, thank you very much on behalf of the staff and students of St. Peter's, especially for our students with special needs. They are the ones that benefit from these sidewalks most.
Belize Trade and Investment Development Service, Beltrade, with the support of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, present key results identified in the Social and Environmental Impact Assessment (SEIA) survey, which was conducted between October 25th to November 17th, 2021, to develop a national medium-term micro, small, and medium enterprise MSMEs strategy. The SEIA covered a total of 338 business owners from all 6 districts in Belize. The results show that the COVID-19 negatively impacted business operations in Belize as MSMEs experienced an average drop in revenue of 60%. 58% of firms faced liquidity problems, while 51% of firms laid off staff and 15% of firms remained closed. In response, 45% of firms started or increased the use of digital platforms. Small and medium enterprises most likely adopted technology than micro enterprises. Beltrade is committed to strengthening MSMEs through the Building Resilient MSMEs Accelerating Digitization Project, which is being funded by the UNDP to build the capacity of rural women and youths, foster entrepreneurship, and develop a virtual knowledge center to provide businesses with digital tools that can accelerate MSME resilience and recovery in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
On May 6, 2018, I suffered a hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding on the brain. When it happened, I went straight into a coma straight away. I flew out via air ambulance to Galenia Hospital. A week or 2 after waking up out the coma, I started doing therapy. They had me do therapy straight away. And I'm grateful for that because that is what made me start moving and walking again. And I got back to being normal. When I went back, I did a new CT scan. And the CT scan results showed no blood, no clot, no fluid on the brain. So I didn't require the surgery again. But I had 24-hour nurse service by my side to make sure that everything is okay with me. After I came back to Belize, they still reached out to me, asking me if everything is fine and how I'm doing, and making sure that if I have any issues, I can always go back, and I just keep contact with them. And I'm very grateful to all the doctors and nurses at Galenia for their hard work and dedication. They're the ones that have me here today.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call OnNet, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
Some quarters of the tourism industry had criticized the Belize Tourism Board for introducing mandatory travel insurance. For $18 US, it covers hotel stays and medical treatment of tourists who fall sick with COVID once they enter Belize. But less than 2 weeks after the implementation of the scheme, BTB Director Evan Tillett says that more and more tourists are purchasing the insurance before they even land in Belize. And the long lines at the PGIAs on Saturdays has very little to do with tourists buying insurance.
I went back into my files and I saw photos in July when we had numbers increase in tourism, and those long lines existed then. Of course, the rollout of the insurance initially created some hurdles and some bottlenecks, but as the time continues, obviously, like rolling out any new plan, you tweak and you fix while you move forward, and that we have seen the benefits of that since the 15th. We have seen a lot less people are now purchasing the insurance when they come. The majority of the people are coming in with insurance. On the first day, the flights came in almost 50-50, 50% having the insurance and 50% don't.
There have been photos circulating of long lines of tourists awaiting to be processed at the Philip Golson International Airport on Saturday. Some blame the Belize Tourism Board's recent mandate of mandatory travel insurance as the cause for the bottleneck. But BTB Director Evan Tillett told News 5 today that the long lines, particularly on Saturdays at the airport, are the result of Belize seeing a lot of carriers landing at the PGIA.
It is a good thing and a bad thing because it's all about the visitor experience. And of course, you want to have a seamless processing of every visitor that comes to Belize. In time of travel and in the time of COVID, you know that there are additional protocols in place, and we are working to try and get those protocols relaxed. So it's just, it has become a part of traveling, but we have to do what we need to as an industry. This Saturday, you had just about 20 flights on the ground this Saturday, and you have flights coming in minutes in between. So there is a processing of passenger that has to be. It's a capacity issue in my mind in terms of, why we have the crowds. We will continue to push from the BTB to get new flight routes into. So it is something that we seriously have to look at in terms of improving the facilities at the airport to be able to accommodate the volume.
They were led like sheep to the slaughter. That is what the Minister of Youth, Sports and Transportation, Rodwell Ferguson, had to say about senior women's national football team in their match against Panama over the weekend. The game ended in a painful 8-0 defeat against Team Belize. After the match, Minister Ferguson made a post on Facebook about the need for greater investments in sporting infrastructure here in Belize. He said, quote, "We are backwards when it comes to infrastructure," unquote. Here is what Minister Ferguson had to say about those comments he made in an interview courtesy the FFB.
When I'm given a responsibility, I want to do it to the best of my ability. And so I did make the post last night. It might be controversial, but I believe it has to be done for the entire country to realize that we can excel, we can do much better. Our players are strong, they are very energetic, but they lack the proper training and the time in camp especially. And after discussing with the FFB, they have a limited amount of resources to promote football across the country at all levels. So they are trying to figure out how we can partner with them. And I always say that the Ministry of Sports and the Department of Sports is the highest body when it comes to Belize in terms of management. And so I said there should be a collaboration between ourselves and the FFB. Together we should be able to make it better for our growth and the of the travel across this country and across the region and across the world.
During the interview, Minister Ferguson pitched the idea of paying athletes to train so that they can spend more time in training. This has always been a complaint of athletes in Belize. Internationally, they go up against teams whose players spend the majority of the year in training. Minister Ferguson says he is prepared to change this reality.
While I was in my bed, I did a calculation and figured what it would cost to pay the first national team, both male and female, in a level of football. And if we pay them $100 a day per year, per day, That accumulates to $1.8 million a year. In reality, it's not a lot of money, but in an economy as Belize, it might be difficult. But I believe if you give me the opportunity to perform as the Minister of Sports, I will have to find the money where it is. So I said, going back to Belize, you will see me very aggressive with my team and figure out what we can do to improve sports in the country of Belize.
Up next, media reps head for the House of Representatives. Find out why they were invited into the committee room when we return.
Welcome to Iris Belize online portal. This guide will provide a step-by-step on how to file a PAYE reconciliation entering manually. On the home page, go to Returns, select File a Return. Select PAYE reconciliation as the revenue type. Select Year and Start Return. Review return information, then click Save and Continue. You have two options to enter employee details. 1. Upload the completed PAYE reconciliation template for larger business types. 2. Click Manually enter the details of the tax return. Click Save and Continue. Now click Enter Tax Return Online questions for PAYE reconciliation. On this page in the employee schedule, click Add Details to enter employees' information. Fill in all required information. Taxpayer identification number. Note that the TIN must be 6 digits. Use zeros to complete the 6 digits if needed. Number of weeks employed, total emoluments, and tax withheld. Note taxable benefits and commission must be entered if applicable, or type 0 if not applicable. Now click Save. Your employee has been added to the employee schedule. You can now add additional employees by clicking the Add Detail button and entering valid details for the other employees. After all employees are added, click back to Tax Return Online questions for PAYE section. You can now view the total emoluments of all employees entered in the schedule. Click Save and Continue. You can upload additional documents if needed. Click Save and Continue. Now you can review or edit your return before submission. When finished, check the Read and Agree box for the terms and conditions and privacy policy. Now you can click Submit Return. You can now pay at any online banking service of your choice. Enjoy using your integrated revenue information system. Effortless, easy, and efficient electronic tax services for everyone. Iris Belize.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
The ministry is collaborating with SpeedNet Communications to have a vaccination campaign for children ages 12 to 17 years. Children who get vaccinated will get a chance to win fabulous prizes, including backpacks with supplies, Nintendo Switch, tablets, book tuitions, and MiFi with 3 months data. Only children 12 to 17 years old can participate in this Smart and Ministry of Health and Wellness raffle. At vaccination sites, each vaccinated child, upon being vaccinated, will receive a ticket to place their name, age, date of birth, BHIS number, and contact information on, which will be filled out by a parent or legal guardian. The sooner a person vaccinates, the more chances he or she will have to win. Get vaccinated, please. Vaccination saves lives.
This can be you. Get vaccinated. The life you save can be yours. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This morning, members of the media were at the National Assembly, but not to cover a House meeting. This time, they were participating in a consultation on an amendment to the Defamation Act that governs libel and slander. It is an important issue for both traditional media houses or mainstream media and newer online-only entities. While some have an increasingly established presence and attend press conferences and trainings with Belizean journalists, others appear to have no known owners or are run by anonymous political operatives. While the new amendment seeks to bring these under an expanded Defamation Act, there is a concern it could also be seeking to stifle free expression in an already litigious environment. Channel 5 CEO Marlene Cuellar was among the media leaders in Belmopan this morning.
There is a level of intimidation that is used very often, citing the defamation law, and it is critical, one, that we understand all the changes that are being made, how it affects us, and being able to take advantage of the opportunity this morning to voice our concerns of where we feel we are not adequately protected. One of the things we all acknowledge now is that there are different ways to disseminate information. Social media is one of them. And there is not enough regulations for those who use the platforms that we offer to share information. The situation, I think, in looking at the innocent dissemination that will be included in the Defamation Act is an opportunity. But again, as I noted in today's consultation, I do feel that the media deserves special protection as well, because when we are no longer able to put the information out to the public and allow for public discourse, because we must be constantly monitoring what very often are political trolls, paid political trolls, to go on and make defamatory comments, then it will reach the point, as we've seen in places like Australia, where they close off all commentary on Facebook posts.
The owner of Plus TV based in Belmopan, Louis Wade, also attended today's consultation on the amendment to the Defamation Act. He says the fact that GOB is presenting this instead of a Freedom of Press Act or other amendments to protect freedom of expression reveal the government's priorities. He is asking some basic journalistic questions. Who wants the act change? For what reason? And why now?
What are the problems that this legislation is trying to solve? Well, it can't be a legal issue. The lawyers are not here to punch holes in the bill. It's not coming from any of the other quarters, but the people who are here are the traditional media. You don't even see the social media here. So the ones that they claim they're trying to control, which is the social media, have not made an appearance. But because legitimate traditional media also have social media sites where we post our news, this legislation is extremely important to us. Now, if we have more freedom of speech and freedom of information, then people will more readily voice their opinions, showing their face. If they have a social media site, they will say, I am the owner of this media site. But the more legislation, draconian legislation that we have that tries to stifle speech, it's not that the speech stops, it simply goes underground.
The news director for Love FM was also present today. Renee Trujillo says that while many want to be in the news, some are also quick to threaten lawsuits. She too called for a Freedom of the Press Act, but welcomed the opportunity to comment on the current amendment to the Defamation Act under committee review.
Luckily, we got the chance today to come in, and the major media houses are here to ask questions, make comments, suggestions, get some clarity in terms of what this defamation bill entails and how it's going to impact the major media houses. I mean, we report on news all the time. We're constantly getting threatened for libel, defamation, what have you. People don't want to be in the news, but they want to read the sensational news. And so we're constantly being threatened with it. And so I think that it was important for us to be here to basically express our views on the situation, request for some sort of strengthening in terms of protection of the mainstream media houses, because I think that is essentially what we really and truly need. We need to be respected as the fourth state. We need to be given, as you said in the meeting, incorporate the freedom of the press, enshrine that into the Constitution, because we are here to serve the people, to bring information to the people. And I think that many times a lot of people underestimate or undervalue the importance of what we do.
But Minister Francis Fonseca, a member of the House committee that was conducting the consultation on the amendment to the Defamation Act, says media input is valued. He also believes that the changes will offer more, not less, protection for media houses.
There's an opportunity now, if people believe that there are weaknesses in that bill, that the bill does not sufficiently meet the needs of the media, there's an opportunity for us to address that issue. But again, I will make the point, and I encourage everyone. It's a law, so it's not easy for everybody to understand and digest and appreciate. But I encourage certainly the media. I encourage you in the media to get a proper legal advice on the bill. It would have been very good, as you pointed out, for there to have been a comprehensive discussion with the Attorney General's office prior to the tabling of the bill. But it's not too late, as the chairman said. We're going through the process. It's not too late for that type of input. We had a good meeting today. You provided very good, comments on the bill. Those will be taken fully into account. But in my view, in my respectful view, the bill seeks to provide greater protection to the media.
The leader of the opposition says he believes the amendments to the defamation bill and the suggestions given today by those most affected in the media will provide a balance between protecting reputations and guaranteeing free speech.
I think it has to strike a balance, and I do agree with Minister Fonseca that it is more balanced now, whereas before it was more in favor of the reputation of a person. I don't believe that we should attack the media, but I do believe that we all have to be responsible. Those people putting up those comments need to be held responsible. And I do believe we've found a moderate ground, whereas the media would be given time to remove those comments, and I think that would solve it. But certainly, I believe in balance. I don't believe it should be more protection of reputation and less freedom of expression. But with freedom of expression comes responsibility. So you can't just slander people and defame people. So that is my position.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.